Barr and Andre Diascu looking to double up here as they continue to look impressive.
Yeah, and as the season goes on, we've seen Barr and Diascu be so dominant, but now players are being able to make the adjustment. They're starting to figure out the sequences and how to play Barr and Diascu. Coming from the bottom half of the draw here, they're going to now have to double dip Todd and Johnson to get back on the winning side after losing to them in Atlanta last week.
It is shaping up to be a beautiful day for pickleball here in Rockwall, Texas, just outside of Dallas at the Oasis Pickleball Club. 64 degrees, blue skies, sun. We already have 3 of our gold medal matchups on Sunday set. Who will be joining them? That's what we are going to find out. We've got men's and women's doubles coming up. This is the APP Dallas Open.
It's a beautiful day for pickleball on the APP Tour. Players have come from around the country with one goal, taking home a gold medal. The stage is set for another incredible APP Tour final.
This weekend, the stars of pickleball shine bright deep in the heart of Texas. Who will fly high in Pegasus City? Tradition lives here in the Lone Star State with respect for what's come before while embracing something new. They say everything's bigger in Texas. Big stages and bright lights set the scene for drama in Dallas. It's the 2023 APP Dallas Open. Over 500 participants, including more than 350 pros, all coming to play at the Oasis Pickleball Club in Rockwall. There's no yellow roses to give out here in Texas, but there are gold medals to be won. Welcome into Championship Court alongside Next Gen National Team head coach Chad Edwards and pro pickleball coach Dominic Catalano. I'm Dorian Kraft. Fellas, this field is responsible for winning 90% of the medals on tour this year. Quite frankly, the competition is stacked. What's the one thing that's impressed each one of you the most this week?
Well, we've been talking about it the last few weeks, but now as we're getting toward the end of the season, that grind factor is starting to come into it a little bit. We're getting some injuries, we're getting some fatigue, and we're getting some new faces starting to go deeper in the draw. Not only because these top players are starting to struggle a little bit, but they're still up on top. But the newer players have now got almost a year behind them as far as getting used to what it's like to play on the tour and finding some adjustments.
And I'll play the devil's advocate here in saying that the veterans, though, are kind of rising to the top here. They are the cream of the crop. You're showing that when you got our tickets punched for Championship Sunday already. So the veterans really learning how to play through adversity, through some injuries, but they are still here on top and here to stay.
The cream of the crop in men's singles this year has been Hunter Johnson, and he is back on Championship Sunday looking for his 7th gold medal in men's singles. How consistent has Johnson looked this week?
Yeah, Hunter Johnson played extremely well on Thursday. Didn't give up more than 8 points in any game and didn't drop a game all the way through to Championship Sunday.
And his opponent, Chris Hayworth, his 2nd Championship Sunday appearance. He lost in Chicago, got double dipped. He had a 3-game battle that got a little chippy with Jack Foster. He got over that, then lost to Hunter Johnson in that winter bracket final, but then beat Eduardo Irizarry in the bronze medal match to earn the right to have a rematch here against Hunter Johnson.
For the 4th time this season in the women's gold medal match, it will be Megan Fudge and Salome Davidze. Fudge trying to make it back-to-back golds after finally breaking through last week in Atlanta.
Like you said there, Dorian, it is Megan Fudge looking for back-to-back gold medals. She has 7 medals this year, and only one of them's gold, and she's coming off of it from last weekend, so she's kind of looking to keep that momentum rolling here in Dallas.
Yeah, and Davidze having to come back here to Championship Sunday and attempt to double-dip Megan Fudge if she's going to get another gold. She was tested early by Emily Ackman, faced a match point there, but was able to take Game 1 against Megan Fudge in the winner's bracket final before dropping Games 2 and 3, and then beat Judith Castillo in the bronze medal match to get back here.
The mixed doubles gold medal final, Hunter Johnson and Paris Todd finally capturing gold last week over Susannah Barr, Andre Diescu. That duo trying to make it back-to-back as the top 2 teams square off once again on Championship Sunday.
Well, again, surprise, these 2 teams here on Sunday in a gold medal match. Paris Todd, Hunter Johnson, they continue to look impressive, picking up where they left off last week in Atlanta. They finally got over that hump and beat Barr and Diescu. They had lost to them the previous 3 times, so finally get over that hump for their 3rd title of the year. And you have Barr and Diascu sitting in the wings, though, with this rematch.
Yeah, and again, this is what it means coming down toward the end of the season. Barr and Diascu have been on top, but now these teams are starting to figure out how to play them, figure out their tendencies, and that's exactly what Todd and Johnson have been able to do. Hunter Johnson is playing exceptionally well the last 3 weeks, and it really showed yesterday.
It is shaping up to be a beautiful afternoon for pickleball here at the Oasis Pickleball Club in Dallas, Texas. 64 degrees, blue skies, the sun is out. 3 of our matchups on Championship Sunday are already set. Who will be joining them? That's what we are going to find out. Men's doubles, women's doubles coming up next. Don't go anywhere. There is much more from the 2023 APP Dallas Open.
Years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
We save time when we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Which means more time
Hey, take a check.
Kyle, it's pickleball.
Every time. 002.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
The APP is presented by AARP, Franklin, Leo Rivet, and Pickleball United.
Susannah Barr and Megan Fudge are 1 game away from winning their first gold medal as a women's doubles duo here on the APP Tour this season. Championship point opportunity here, and that is how they do it. Megan Fudge and Susannah Barr are golden on the APP Tour in women's doubles for the first time this season.
It's just been such a fun journey, and getting to know her better as a person, as a player, and just been a really fun ride.
St. Louis, thanks for coming out.
That was Megan Fudge and Susannah Barr capturing their first gold in women's doubles on tour this year. That was in St. Louis. Now the pair coming off of their second gold medal last week in Atlanta and looking strong coming into this bracket. They will be facing Genie, Erokhina, and Christa Gecheva first.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup here, and a good second-round match for Susannah Barr, or excuse me, third-round match for Susannah Barr and Megan Fudge. Looked really impressive last weekend, played really well. We talk about getting over humps. They finally got over that hump of Simone Jarging and Paris Todd, taking them out. That was their first win against them. So they are feeling really good coming into this tournament. But, again, it's very similar. Paris Todd, Simone Jarging on the top half. You have Susannah Barr and Megan Fudge on the bottom half. They're looking at a collision course in that winner bracket final. But now don't go to sleep.
I was about to say that.
Genie and Erokhina, who are playing very well right now.
Don't sleep on Erokhina and Gecheva. Just knocked down Trong and Glosman at 7 and 9.
Yes.
And I will say that Christa Gecheva is playing extremely well this week, and she, in a sense, has something to prove after.
No, she does, and we've seen Genie Erokhina just kind of continue to go upward.
Yeah.
Right? And she just gets better week in and week out. This is a very good matchup here in the semifinal.
Gecheva serving to start off. Barr putting it away right down the middle of the court.
Yeah, I mean, that's an excellent ball from Megan Fudge there. Erokhina went out wide with that forehand drop. Fudge takes that out of the air and gives an even better angle back.
Oh,
Gecheva tagging Fudge on the shoulder.
Well, that's not a bad drop from Barr. It's just a great shot from Gecheva right
I've
there.
seen
Great
Gecheva hit 4 people today, all with that quick flick. And that's a danger spot there with Erokhina. She does such a good job on that forehand. She can roll the ball in any direction. And, you know, she is tall. She does have reach, so she can take balls out of the air that you're anticipating to drop.
Erokhina and Gecheva get on the board first as Fudge pushes that long. Erokhina, a very good mover for her size, despite being so tall. Gecheva going right at Barr.
Yeah, it's a tough spot right there. Barr leaves that one up a little bit in the middle. She's trying to get to the left foot of Gecheva right there, but leaves it a little high. And when you are 6 foot tall, that's an easy reach.
Oh.
Now Barr going right back at the body.
Well, we're 1 and 1. We're all square here.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah. Erokhina over here right in front of us. She goes, that was a good shot.
Hey, when your opponent makes a good shot, you have to acknowledge it.
Oh, don't go to sleep on Erokhina because she's going to come right back at you here. If we don't get her tagging someone this game, it'll be a shock.
That ball bounced twice.
That ball just died, absolutely,
And
before Barr could get to it.
That's one thing that I've noticed, and I was actually just talking to some players right now. The ball is not bouncing as much as you would anticipate with it being colder and the ball playing harder. It's actually staying down.
What's more difficult, the ball not bouncing up because of the cold weather or the gusts that we're having here on Championship Court?
I mean, it's just
poison.
Yeah, it's just a difficult day to play right now. Whether you're playing, you know, into the wind, with the wind, you're anticipating a ball to bounce and it stays down.
That ball gets left up. Erokhina able to go right at the hip.
Well, good attack right there from Erokhina off the two-handed backhand drive from Gecheva. So again, reading that, almost a little shake and bake there.
Barr finding some space right back up the middle. That's been a good spot for her already.
Well, and the key right there, too, is it's more about getting the ball down than the actual power as I dive out of the booth to grab Dorian's notes right now.
As the wind right on cue.
Well, the joke is I don't need those ones anymore.
Ah, well.
So you did it for nothing, but I appreciate the effort.
Put my life on the risk right now. I can't speak.
That's going to be a long day if you can't speak already.
Yeah, the struggle's real.
Isn't it always? Fudge able to counter.
So the beginning of that point, Erokhina had 2 overheads that she mishit both of them. And again, it's the wind. So it's pulling across her body.
Land in.
Barr, just too much. It slides under the paddle of Erokhina.
Was not a bad decision from Erokhina to let that ball go because off the paddle, I'm looking at that going, that ball's going way long.
6 feet deep.
It just knocked it down and almost landed on her right shoulder.
2-3-1. Nice poach there from Fudge for the point.
Yeah, Erokhina has to do a little bit more with that ball. She kind of just tried to bump it back. But again, with Barr hitting into the wind there, it drops sooner than she thinks. And then Gecheva's just sails with the wind. So that's the difficulty right now is our ball's going to drop when we go for the reach. Are we going to overhit a ball?
Gecheva with some extra oomph behind that overhead.
She's a little angry right there.
Listen, Christa Gecheva, she's a competitor.
Yeah, and again, the wind, it's just playing a factor. You have to put it out of your mind and just play the game right now.
5-3-2. Barr not able to handle the third.
Yeah, and the wind pushes that one down.
Erokhina getting just a little bit big there at the kitchen line.
And, I mean, that's a ball, again, where it sits up just a little too long. She thinks she can go over and get it. Actually, collides with Gecheva there.
Right into the strike zone for Erokhina.
And that's a better job by Erokhina and Gecheva. Gecheva taking her time, coming forward, gets a ball down. They try to keep her deep. Erokhina steps over, splits her middle.
That's a great spot there from Erokhina. She doubles up to the right hip of Megan Fudge and jams her up just enough here. There's one, and then she goes right back to that same spot. And now we're all square again at 5.
5-5-2. That's an easy backhand put away for Fudge.
Yeah, ball just sat up too high there off of Gecheva's paddle. Trying to drop it down, but actually cuts off the swing, so then it just sits up. An excellent position from Megan Fudge.
That's a nice lob by Fudge. That's a risky decision on a day like this where you don't know what the wind's going to do.
Well, that end that Fudge and Barr are on right now is the perfect end to be lobbing into, because you can go a little bit firmer with that lob and you know that it's going to drop down.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
Defense during that point. Are you kidding?
The digs right there. Again, right now, what you're seeing so much of from Megan Fudge are these great hands battles and digs. We saw it last weekend in Atlanta. Anything she gets a paddle on right now, she's getting back over.
Erokhina and Gecheva a little frustrated, thinking, how many balls do we have to hit to even have a chance to win the point?
Ooh, Barr stood just a little tall there. Again, when you're anticipating a ball to bounce a little higher.
And then there's that risk reward with the hard serve, the aggressive serve from Barr. Every once in a while she may miss one, but she gets more points off it than she misses.
Fudge getting the friendly roll, puts the hand up. There's not much you can do if you're Erokhina and Gecheva.
I mean, even at 6 foot tall, Erokhina couldn't even reach that one.
I don't even think Andre could have gotten there.
Wow.
Beautiful setup to have Barr put that ball away.
But she senses that Gecheva's full sprint to the left. She knows that the opening is going to be to her opposite hip right there, and she finds that hole in the middle. Good decision.
Fudge and Barr able to side out.
Excellent angle there from Megan Fudge. Again, we always talk about it's the angle over the power. You, me, mine, up,
Well,
down,
you and I were
left,
going to say
right.
the same thing because the angles on that were so perfectly placed.
Well, we hit on that, Chad, last weekend when Megan Fudge ends up on the right side. Her forehand angle on an overhead is next to none.
Yeah, we didn't see any misses on that right side, and not many balls came back from the overhead on that right side from Megan Fudge.
A little bit too much backspin on that as it sails long.
Fudge in between a lob and a drive right there, and it ends up long.
Gecheva coming up on the short on the third shot drop. Erokhina has gone to the sunglasses. She went over to the stands and grabbed those after that missed overhead that she sent long. So some sun factoring in here on championship court as well.
Yeah, and you look at, if you see the shadows on the court, it'll be from the bottom of your screen to the top, meaning the sun right in the eyes of Erokhina and Gecheva right here. And a timeout from them as we speak.
Yeah, and the last couple of misses there from Gecheva, just rushing to get off that third shot. Oh, I feel like I'm enclosed right now. I'll just hide behind my bottle. Right
we wanted to be close to you, Chad, during this Tervis hydration break here on championship court as Gecheva and Erokhina have called a timeout. What has stood out to you so far here in this opening game?
The aggressiveness of Barr and Fudge, right? They've changed a little bit, right? Last week, again, we talked about it in the opening chat of teams having to adjust to teams that they've lost to a lot, right? And those adjustments have been made against Barr and Diascu and mixed. Well, now Susannah, Barr, and Megan Fudge are like, we need to play a little more aggressive right now. And they've started to do that. They started to do it last weekend. It worked. They started their first two matches. It's worked, and it's working right now, too.
So what do Erokhina and Gecheva need to do to counter that aggressiveness of Barr and Fudge?
Well, I mean, honestly, Gecheva and Erokhina started off extremely well also, but a couple of errors have crept into the game. You know, and you get the serve back and then you miss two third shots into the net. It's just cleaning a couple of things up.
Well, what do they do right out of the timeout? They don't uncoil on the stack. Do Gecheva and Erokhina. They've been, when they have an odd score, they've been uncoiling the stack. Well, now they're keeping Gecheva on that left.
Why is that left a better spot for Gecheva?
Well, I don't even think it's necessarily a quote-unquote better spot. It's changing the look, right? And so they're struggling a little bit with Erokhina on the left, so just switch it up a little bit.
Barr finally able to put away the overhead.
Yeah, it was good pressure there. Erokhina and Gecheva not able to get a ball down. Really got pushed back at that baseline there. And that's part of that hitting with the wind. It just makes it so much more difficult to get a ball below the net.
Oh, Fudge somehow handles that high ball for the put away.
That ball, incredible angle here right from Megan Fudge as Susannah Barr tries to tell her to let it go, which it's probably going to go out. But again, when you're committed, the ball's on top of you so fast, it's hard to back off.
Fudge looking for the speed up, had it, but just caught the tape.
Yeah, and that's where that ball drops just a little bit more than you're anticipating. You hit the top of the ball instead of coming underneath it.
I like the adjustment on the overhead from Gecheva. She doesn't try and do too much with it. She throws a changeup in there, right? So instead of giving them pace, she takes something off that right there. Just enough.
Service error. 5-8-2 here in game number 1.
Yeah, again, Gecheva and Erokhina get the serve back, and it's a quick side out. If you're trying to make up ground there, you have to make your opponents play.
And they've held them, right?
Yeah. What a pickup there from Barr. Just drops the paddle down, doesn't try to overswing.
Susannah Barr may have one of the best pickups in the game.
Woo.
Yeah, you're not going to get that lob over Genie Erokhina.
That's nice there from Erokhina. Perfect spot. Great angle. No one's getting a paddle on that one.
And Barr pushes it wide. Erokhina going to that change-up look again off of the overhead.
The difference being is the height of that ball. The two balls that have gone really high, because of the wind, it's adjusting. The one that was a little bit shorter, she teed off on.
Now Erokhina looking to tee off there and instead finds the net.
What's going on here? Yelling at somebody in the stands. May have been Riley DeHart.
And Megan Fudge's husband sitting courtside, as he often does when she plays. Well, Chad, yeah, as long as they're not yelling at you.
Oh,
I'm very soft-spoken.
I love that move right there from Gecheva. She's got it right on her paddle on a good drop from Erokhina. Just can't convert.
Ooh, Barr.
Fudge had
definitely
Barr hit an out ball.
An out ball. And that's a situation of knowing where you are on the court. If you're one step inside the baseline, you hit a ball that's waist high.
It's going out.
Yes.
Court awareness is one of the most difficult skills, as Gecheva can't handle the backhand. And another timeout for Erokhina and Gecheva.
Yeah, the big serve coming into play right there again from Barr. She hits them out every once in a while, but again, the big serve right there puts pressure on. And we always talk about that, Chad, is that's where the game has changed a lot. You have a lot of very big serves, a lot of very big drives. The game is sped up, and that's become an offensive weapon where when we got into the game years ago, it was just...
Oh, just get your serve in.
Just get your return in.
serve in.
All right, just make sure you keep it in. Now it's become an absolute offensive weapon, and it's given Barr and Fudge a 10-5 lead here.
Drop. Get up to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Dink, dink, dink. Because you just... couldn't put the power on the serve. You couldn't put the power on the drives. It just wasn't there. And as the game transitions and as the paddle technology changes, then you get the infusion of power.
It's almost similar to volleyball, especially on the men's side in that regard, where now the control of the point actually starts at the service line instead of once the point is already going.
Yep. I think
I like it. In the drops in a volleyball because she's trying to one-up us on baseball.
Listen, I know your
she
baseball.
Was a softball girl.
Yeah.
She was a softball girl.
I know.
It is game point for Barr and Fudge.
And that's a much better job from Erokhina and Gecheva there. What we were seeing up until that point is that they were rushing to get to the next ball, to get to the next position, and weren't fully executing. That one, they slowed themselves down, executed their shots, moved the ball around.
Erokhina and Gecheva able to earn the side out, consolidate with a point. They're not out of this game by any means.
No,
in these conditions, never. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in pickleball, but more so with these conditions as well.
Beautiful setup allows Barr to put it away.
Well, again, talking with them earlier, they talked about we need to change our game plan up a little bit. We need to be the one to initiate, and they're doing that right now, that being Barr and Fudge.
6-10-2.
Nice read there from Megan Fudge. Sensing Gecheva coming to the middle of the court, looking to be aggressive of the drop by Gecheva.
Earns a side out in game point number 2. That'll do it as Gecheva puts the forehand into the net. Barr and Fudge take game 1, 11-6 over Genie Erokhina and Christa Gecheva. We will have game 2 action coming up here on Championship Court. Don't go anywhere. Much more to come from the 2023 APP Dallas Open.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is too spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
We started this mission in tennis about 5 years ago. We've been perfecting our craft and our tools. We now see a phenomenal opportunity to take all that and bring it into pickleball to support an emerging ecosystem that's booming. And it's a super complementary partnership for us with the experience and the existing events that are up and running, the recreational element of APP. It's a fantastic 1 + 1 is going to equal 4. So we're thrilled to be partnering with APP.
Welcome back to Championship Court as Susannah Barr set to serve here in game number 2. She and Megan Fudge took game 1 11-6 over Genie Erokhina and Christa Gecheva. Trying to move on to the women's winners bracket final. And goes right at the legs.
That's point construction.
Too good there from Megan Fudge. Takes that ball out of the air, cuts down the reaction time for Erokhina, rolls that ball behind her and just gets her on the run.
Another service long. Gives a side out back over to Gecheva and Erokhina. With some emphasis on the overhead.
Yeah, and you're going to see if the teams make an adjustment game plan-wise. As now you have the wind behind Barr and Fudge. Are they going to slow the game down, maybe try and not go for as much?
Oh. I think that answer is no, Dom.
No.
Well, they haven't been given a ball yet of whether to speed it up or slow it down. Any ball above the net, you're still going to be aggressive.
Gecheva can't make the pick. Little frustration as Barr and Fudge earn the side out.
2-0-1 for Barr and Fudge right now.
Wow. I mean, if you think, like, again, I'm going to hit on something different the next time out, but again, the footwork of Megan Fudge right there, absolutely incredible. You watch her. She's staying square to the net the whole time, just moving so well and so quick.
3-0-1. As Gecheva can't handle the serve, make it 4-0-1. This feels like it has the chance.
Oh, the question. Gecheva was questioning that they're in the wrong position, but they're not, because Gecheva's not remembering that they scored 1 on their first service game.
Nice ball there from Barr going behind Gecheva. Right now, Gecheva and Erokhina just trying to do a little too much. They're trying to rush to their next shot.
Barr trying to maybe do a little bit too much there on that forehand, but when you're up 5-0, you can go for a little bit more.
Well, you play a little bit looser.
Barr can't come up with the backhand.
That's a good spot there, cross court from Erokhina. She dips that nicely to the backhand of Susannah Barr. See Barr imitating what she needed to do and what she did. She reached one hand. She's better with 2.
That one's going to land in. Oh, it was the depth.
Just wide.
Depth-wise, it was good. Just missed a little bit wide.
Those were the type of balls that were falling in for Barr and Fudge a few minutes ago as Erokhina into the net. When it comes to opponents trying to do too much against Barr and Fudge, how much is it the way that that team plays together where you force your opponent to go for more?
Well, Barr and Fudge make a lot of balls. So then they're putting that pressure on you because you're knowing that the balls are going to come back. In that instance where Erokhina stepped over, again, she's trying to rush to get that ball off. Ooh. Ooh,
great job by Eric. Is that a replay?
No. It just hit Megan Fudge's paddle before it came back into the bar. If she had to let it drop, it was going to hit the bar. But
now the way that she turned around, that was a great get though from Erokhina on the short angle. Nice step in there from Barr on the forehand.
Again, nice aggressive move right there. She goes behind Christa Gecheva right there, gets a little bit of a pop-up, reaches in and takes it out of the air. Good aggressive play.
Gecheva caught a little bit in the transition zone as Barr and Fudge able to side out. Still on top 5-0 here in game number 2. Just catches the back line.
Well, Erokhina speeds up right there, but she's not anticipating that ball is going to come back. When you speed up, it has to be a 1-2 combination. You saw her hit that two-hander and then just stay there and hold the paddle down, watches to see what her ball's going to do. Fudge counters and it comes back, and then she's not ready for the next one. It has to be an attack, anticipate the next ball come back, so then you can attack again.
And so now it's two things I want to get to during the timeout. One, what just happened right there is last person in the world at a tournament right now who I want to speed up at is Megan Fudge. Her hands are so good right now. She's getting everything back, and they're not just back, but they're good resets. Then go back about 4 points ago where we had Megan Fudge, and I was talking about her footwork. That footwork right there isn't because of all the games she plays, all the time she spends on court. It's everything that this woman does off court. Follow her on Instagram. Watch what she's doing off court, in the gym, with speed drills, with agility drills. This girl is working her butt off to get to this point right here. She is, and it's all coming into kind of motion right now, and that's what that last play about 4 points ago did with that footwork sliding right to left.
Fudge just talked about really enjoying the moment. She's not sure how long her career in pickleball is going to last at 35 years old, a little older than some of the players coming into the tour, and she just wants to make the most of every opportunity. Gets another point there as she and Susannah Barr really putting the screws in here in game number 2. 7-0-1.
Well, just a little too big there from Erokhina. She senses the counter, takes that paddle a little too far behind the body, catches it late. That's why it catches the top of the net.
Gecheva cuts it too fine.
And again, that's what Fudge and Barr are doing right now to you. You're trying to be too perfect and trying to get that line and get it out of reach. And that's what happens right there. You go a little wide.
Everything going the way of Fudge and Barr right now.
That's clean down the line for Megan Fudge.
Well, Erokhina is holding the middle right there to try and buy some time for Gecheva to come forward. But once that ball goes wide, she has to take a step to the line. Oh.
Left-handed poach from Susannah Barr right there. She tried to finish it.
That's when you know everything's going your way and you're feeling good, when you're trying to switch up hands, poach. But this is what Susannah Barr and Megan Fudge have done this entire tournament. They got through their first 2 and 7. They only gave up 3 points in their previous match, and so they have been very judicious about allowing points so far. 6-0 right now as it stands.
They'll have another opportunity here to end this.
That ball went out of bounds, so we got to get a new one out of the bucket. Been approved. We are ready to go. 10-0-2. And Barr puts it away back down the middle, exactly the way this match started. Point game match to Susannah Barr and Megan Fudge. We will hear from them when we come back here on Championship Court. There's more from the 2023 APP Dallas Open.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
The APP is presented by Skechers, Power Plate, Yola, and Humana.
We're taking a look at match point for Megan Fudge and Susannah Barr. Excellent showing from them. A little 1-2 combination from Barr with the half scorpion finish there on the forehand side. So Megan Fudge and Susannah Barr moving forward. We have Dominic Catalano, who's courtside with our winners.
Thank you, guys. Megan, Susannah, wow, what a match. I mean, you guys have been kind of cruising along all day today. You guys are feeling it. What's the difference today? I mean, but you're picking it up from last week, but what's the difference today?
No, I mean, like, we feel really comfortable out here. Obviously, it's a great venue, and loving the wind, loving the sun, so it's warming up.
And Susannah, it seemed like you guys had the lobs going in that first game. What is it and how difficult is it with the wind? Because the wind is really swirling today.
Yeah, I mean, you got to choose your side right when you're going to lob when there's wind, but it can also work in your benefit when it starts to swirl up high.
All right, well, congratulations, ladies. Moving on to the winner bracket final. Another match coming up next. It'll be our next women's doubles semifinal here on Championship Court, the APP Dallas Open.